This is The World's Worst Children, the board game, based upon David Walliams' series of books and designed by me, Mr. O. Yeah, I designed it because there are no official games about this series, which is odd because if any of his books deserve a game, it's this one. Anyway, my game is silly and gross and I think it works pretty well. But before we get into that, let's look at what David Walliams' games do exist and what ideas I took from them. We've already looked at the games for Gangster Granny, Grandpa's Great Escape and some mini-games. Check them out at the links up there somewhere. I reckon I can take the best bits of these games and use them for my own. So my favourite part of Gangster Granny's Stash the Swag is that you have plenty of decisions to make. Do you try to get more jewels or stash the ones you've got? Do you try and get ahead of the Queen or hang back and wait for her to pass? But the board itself is quite dull, even generic. Compare that to the Grandpa's Great Escape game, which has an amazing 3D board, but was a real drag to play. You'd be lucky to finish a game in an hour. Then there are the mini-games, which are fun and educational and have some classic game mechanics, but they could be for literally any book series. You know, it could have been Dork Diaries Cheat or 13-story Treehouse word games. So there's good stuff in these games, but none of them are great overall. There is one more David Walliams game I've not reviewed yet. Let's take a look and see if there's anything in it worth using, or if I'll need to make something quite different myself. This is David Walliams' Megatastic Challenges game, a family game for 2 or more players that takes maybe 20 minutes to play. Spin the spinner and take a challenge card, which may be silly or educational. If you succeed, you gain a character card from Gangster Granny, Grandpa's Great Escape, Awful Auntie, Rat Burger, or Billionaire Boy. Collect 5 to win. I thought this was alright. It's very similar to the Wimpy Kid 10-second challenge game, but that's not a bad thing. It's always fun to try ridiculous new challenges, like balancing a spoon on your nose, or making a paper aeroplane one-handed, or moving a biscuit from your forehead to your mouth using only your face muscles. But like the mini-games, this could be based on literally any book series. It could be Lord of the Flies Megatastic Challenges. Actually, that sounds kind of amazing. This got me thinking, the World's Worst Children books actually give us brilliant material for a game, but none of it is in here. If we want to do this properly, let's start by looking at what the books actually give us to work with. This is The World's Worst Children by David Walliams, illustrated by Tony Ross and published in 2016 by HarperCollins. It is about 10 children, all of whom are naughty or gross in some way. There's Windy Mindy, who farts all the time, Peter Picker, who picks his nose, Dribbling Drew, who dribbles in his sleep, and he sleeps a lot, Grubby Gertrude, who is dirty and smelly, and Nigel Knitboy, who loves having knits in his hair and can actually control them like some sort of revolting superhero. In each case, the children get their comeuppance in some way or other. Many of the stories are quite gross. A few are a bit disturbing. There are lots of fun bits of text going up and down in different typefaces. There are lots of pictures by Tony Ross, and it's all in colour, which is great. In some ways, I think these stories are better than David Walliams' novels. I think his ideas fit short stories better. Sometimes they're a bit too surreal, like when Peter Picker's bogey ball scoops up the Colosseum, the Taj Mahal and Buckingham Palace. Yeah, the Queen's in this again as usual. Or when Dribbling Drew's dribble floods the Natural History Museum. How can he produce more dribble than the volume of his own body? But they're fun and gross, and there's loads of potential for more and more terrible children. 2 books more, in fact. I realised that all the weird, gross and naughty things they do are kind of like special powers in a board game. This board game. The world's worst children have arrived at school to find mess everywhere, and they know they are going to get the blame. Work together to clean it all up and keep the pesky teachers out of the way before everyone ends up in detention. Place the board in the middle of the table and put some mess in each room. Then choose your character. For this example, I'm going to use Peter, Brian, Nigel and Gertie, but there is also Mindy and Drew. Each character has their own special kind of mess. Put these into the bag along with the 12 teachers and the rest of the general mess. Draw a room card for each player to decide where they start, then shuffle them along with this shuffle card. Finally, set the detention tracker on 1. There are no dice in this game. Each character has a number of actions. Peter and Brian have 4 actions, and Nigel and Gertie have 6. For 1 action, you can move 1 space or clean up 1 mess. Characters can only move orthogonally, left, right, up or down, except Brian, who can move diagonally because he's very clever. Peter is followed by a trail of bogies, which slow down other players, but also teachers. Nigel has a cloud of nits, which can move with him or can go off by itself, but they share his 6 actions. At the end of your turn, check the detention tracker and draw that number of cards. Each card tells you how many tokens to place into which rooms. If there are 3 messes in a room, it becomes a disaster. Replace the mess tokens with a disaster token and move the detention tracker up 1 level. You need to put the mess back into the bag, which is a pain because you need to remove all the mess to win. You may also get a teacher. Teachers are annoying because they move towards the characters each turn. If they catch up with you, they start lecturing you, which means you cannot clean up any mess until you've dropped them off at the staff room or the principal's office. Teachers cannot move through bogies, dribble or farts though. Oh, one other thing, it costs 3 actions to clean up another character's special mess, but only 1 action to clean up your own. And that's it. I had some really lovely ideas for this game from my teacher friend Miss Honey and her class in Australia. Look at these, they're so cool. As a special thank you, I'm going to send my copy of this game to her class of honeybees. Let me know what you think. If you want a copy, ask your grown-ups to donate to my fundraiser, as much or as little as they like, and I'll send you the PDF. If you want to know how I designed and printed this game, take a look at my second channel.